Spartans! What is your profession?
Hello and welcome back to KuziCast with your host, Mr. Kuzi, another episode of Spartan Adda. And today on our show, we have another Tiger Spartan from Bangladesh, and his name is Ashraf Anam. Hey Ashraf, how are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. Um, Good.
All right.
Everything is good.
First of all, before we start, this is going to be a bilingual show because we're Bangladeshis and we're proud of our heritage and our
Yeah.
language. So you'll hear a little bit of English, a little bit of Bangla. So just work with us. So Ashraf, tell us a little bit about yourself. আমাদেরকে তোমার ব্যাপারে একটু কিছু বলো।
Uh, so, okay, I mean, like, I've been a Batman fan since childhood, and I mean, I haven't been into DC like until recently, maybe like around 2011.
Right.
So the year Green Lantern came out, you know,
The movie.
Ryan Reynolds movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I watched Man of Steel, and I didn't know. I mean, the director Zack Snyder very
আচ্ছা
well
আচ্ছা
that time.
ওকে আমরা আস্তে আস্তে যাই
Oh,
সো
okay.
ওকে
Alright.
অলরাইট সো আমরা আস্তে আস্তে যাই তুমি আমার আগে চলে যাচ্ছ এন্ড তখন আমার শো দেখবা 5 মিনিট হয়ে গেছে সো ওকে সো লেটস স্টার্ট অফ দ্য বিগিনিং তুমি কি মানে ছোটবেলা থেকে এই কমিক বুক কার্টুন এগুলিতে খুব ইন্টারেস্ট ছিল নাকি লেটার লাইফে
I was introduced to Batman. I think with the Adam West show. From the 60s? Yeah.
ব্যাটম্যান
Yeah.
ছোটবেলায় আই ইউজড টু ওয়াচ ইট টু আমিও দেখতাম খুব মজা লাগতো
Yeah, so I was aware of Superman and Batman both, but something about Batman always fascinated me.
রাইট
Probably the weird costume,
হুম
the utility belt, and all that. The gadgets he uses. So I became a Batman fan, and then I was introduced to the animated series.
ব্যাটম্যান দ্য অ্যানিমেটেড সিরিজ হ্যাঁ ওই যে
Batman
যেটা
the
কার্টুন
Animated
নেটওয়ার্কে
Series,
আগে আমরা দেখতাম রাইট
uh-huh.
হ্যাঁ
It was voiced by Kevin Conroy and
লেজেন্ড এন্ড মার্ক হ্যামেল অ্যাজ দ্য জোকার
Mark Hamill's Joker. Yeah.
আমাদের লুক স্কাইওয়াকার ছিলেন আমাদের মানে চাইল্ডহুডের নাম্বার 1 ভিলেন which was like Joker. So in terms of DC মানে মিডিয়া তুমি তুমি আগে অ্যাডাম ওয়েস্টের টিভি শো দেখছো তারপর তুমি দ্য অ্যানিমেটেড শো দেখছো তুমি
Animated.
আগের ব্যাটম্যান মুভিগুলো দেখছিলা লাইক ব্যাটম্যান রিটার্ন
Yeah. Like the first Batman movie I actually watched was Batman and Robin. The
আর্নল্ড
worst one.
শোয়ার্জনেগার
Yeah.
হ্যাঁ জর্জ
Arnold
ক্লুনি যেটা ছিল
Yeah.
হ্যাঁ অনেস্টলি
as a
এখন
kid-
এখন এখন সত্যি কথা বলো মুভিটা কেমন লাগছিল
As a kid, I loved it, but I mean, as I grew older, then I understood like how bad the movie was.
হ্যাঁ
I love-
ছোটবেলায় যখন আমিও ফার্স্ট টাইম ব্যাটম্যান এন্ড রবিন দেখছিলাম রাইট আফটার ব্যাটম্যান ফরএভার আমার একটু খারাপ লাগছিল যে ভ্যাল কিলমারকে রিপ্লেস করছিল বাট অ্যাজ এ কিড তখনকার টাইমে ইন দ্য 90s আর্নল্ড শোয়ার্জনেগার ছিল দ্য বস যে কোনো মুভিতে আর্নল্ড শোয়ার্জনেগার থাকতো ইট ওয়াজ জাস্ট লাইক মানে ইট ওয়াজ ব্যাড অ্যাস অ্যান্ড দেন ইউ হ্যাভ লাইক অ্যান আনসাম্বল কাস্ট লাইক উমা থার্মান ছিল পয়জন আইভি আলিসিয়া
Uma
সিলভারস্টোন ছিল তোমার আই থিঙ্ক ব্যাড গার্ল আই থিঙ্ক and মানে
Bad
for
Girls,
its time
Chris O'Donnell.
হ্যাঁ ক্রিস ওডনেল was your Robin ও তো ব্যাটম্যান ফরএভারে ইন্ট্রোডিউস হয়েছিল so for its time even though it had some campy elements like যে those স্কেট শুজ যে ওরা যে যখন মিস্টার ফ্রিজের সাথে প্রথম ফাইট করে পায়ের মধ্যে যে ক্লিক করে এন্ড টাচ করে যে যে ব্লেড গুলি যে বের হয় দে ক্যান স্কেট এন্ড ফাইট মানে ইট হ্যাড ইট ক্যাম্পি মোমেন্টস and Bane ke দেখাইছিল like for the first time. So it was like a whole ensemble, show. মানে ওরা অনেক কিছু একটা ছোট
I still
হুম বলো বলো
I still think George Clooney could have been a great Batman. He has the jaw and everything, but I mean, I think it was the studio's fault.
হ্যাঁ
Wholly
definitely
Warner Brothers.
definitely because it was because of the failure and the negative reception of that movie that ওরা later down the line decide করছে যে আমরা reboot করব with Christopher Nolan. So that's when that started.
Yeah.
So আমরা এখন আস্তে আস্তে এখন সামনে আগাই. So when did you মানে তুমি what was your thought on Batman Begins by Christopher Nolan?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Batman Begins. I when it came out, I actually loved it. Actually, because I mean, the first time we were seeing, like how to best describe it.
মানে প্রপার লাইভ অ্যাকশন ব্যাটম্যান মানে আমরা আমাদের কমিক অথবা কার্টুনের কাছাকাছি একটা ব্যাটম্যান দেখতে পারতেছি
I mean, not really. I mean, Nolan's Batman is way
realistic,
different from the comic book Batman. Yeah, a lot more realistic. Yes, at that time, I read Wonder Batman comic. It wasn't that much to it. So I thought, I mean, Nolan's realistic style, I thought it was awesome.
আচ্ছা so overall পুরো ট্রিলজিটাই তোমার ভালো লাগছিল I guess
Realism of no then I watched the Dark Knight and then I mean you can see the difference between Batman Begins and the Dark Knight. You can see Gotham changes a lot. I mean,
visually changes a lot.
It's more Gotham. I mean, also atmospherically, Gotham changes a lot and it turns into Chicago kind of in the Dark Knight. So while I liked Dark Knight, I wasn't really that big of a fan. And after Dark Knight Rises, I started to realize that this is the comic book Batman. I watched Tim Burton's Batman after the Dark Knight trilogy.
Right.
So when I watched that, I totally fell in love with Tim Burton's world, and I
মানে মাইকেল কিটন যেটার মধ্যে ব্যাটম্যান ছিল আমাদের ফার্স্ট ব্যাটম্যান ব্যাটম্যান এন্ড ব্যাটম্যান রিটার্নস original
yes I would say until BVS Batman vs Superman he was my Batman my favorite Batman so
Ashraf দাঁড়াও তোমার লাইনে একটু
then I started to read some of the comics
hello Ashraf
oh hello yeah
তোমার লাইনে একটু ডিস্টার্ব হচ্ছে তুমি আমাকে আরেকবার কল ব্যাক করো
oh okay hello can you hear me
হ্যাঁ much better হ্যাঁ বলো
okay so
হ্যাঁ যেটা বলছিলা you watched the Tim Burton after
so I fell in love with that and then I was like into the comics and like I watched the animated series and then
আচ্ছা so it was after the Dark Knight Rises এর পরে তুমি আস্তে আস্তে সব লাইক কমিক তারপরে যে অ্যানিমেটেড মুভি সব আস্তে আস্তে তুমি সব দেখা শুরু করছো রাইট
yeah
all right very good Dark Knight Rises টা কেমন লাগছিল the third one the last in the trilogy
Dark Knight I think in Nolan's trilogy I feel Batman Begins is still the best Batman movie I would say Dark Knight Rises not that much I mean No, I wasn't a fan of Dark Knight Rises. Really.
Personally, I agree with you in terms of Batman. আমরা যদি ব্যাটম্যান ক্যারেক্টারটাকে যদি ধরি, if
Yeah.
we're only speaking of Batman as a character, in Nolan's version with Christian Bale's performance, kudos, because the thing is, what Christian Bale and Nolan did was they did something fresh, right? So
Yeah.
মানে কোনো benchmark
That's
কিন্তু
true.
ছিল না. There was no benchmark, so they did it একেবারে fresh. And it was a very fresh take, very realistic, militaristic, মানে মনে হতো যে হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে এটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে একটা sense of realism আছে. But in my opinion, as in my personal opinion, that some of the closest Batman tidbits ছিল, যে in the first movie যখন ওই যে বলে না আম ব্যাটম্যান, তারপর যে ওই যে যখন ফ্যালকনের যে থাগসগুলির যে ওই যে ডকের মধ্যে যে পিটায়, হ্যাঁ that পিছন থেকে আসে and he picks up the guy from the car, like those were signature Batman moments, right? So
I love the stealth part.
So exactly, so those stealth
swooping
moments
down.
Yeah. So those stealth moments, Batman Begins এখনো খুব signature. But overall, আমি যদি ধরি, it was more of the supporting cast and the dialogue that carried the three movies. Like তুমি দেখো, first movie the villain কে ছিল? Liam Neeson. who is মানে Qui-Gon Jinn বলো, ইয়া মানে লিয়াম মানে টেকেনের এক্স সিআইএ বলো, ইয়া যারাই বলো, লিয়াম নিসন যে মুভিতে থাকে মুভিতে ও মুভিটাকেই উঠায় দেয়, রাইট? তারপর right, in the second movie we have one of the most iconic cinematic performances in cinema history, which was Heath Ledger's Joker. So and in the third one again, like Michael Caine chilo Alfred, who is a legendary actor, by the way. Tumi Michael Caine ব্যাপারে জানো নাকি না জানি না, but he's a legendary British actor, and she
I know him.
So Michael Caine এর মতন একটা actor, he's playing মানে butler. And you have Morgan Freeman, again another great legendary actor, and you have
I would say if you see them as Christopher Nolan movies, they're actually great.
Oh yes.
But as big movies, I think like movies by themselves, like as pop drama movies, I would say the Nolan trilogy is one of the best.
So hands down.
And I will say that Heath Ledger, even if he wasn't a good Joker, but he was a great villain, and he deserved the Oscar.
And I think he won an Oscar Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. পাইছে একটা.
Yeah. He deserved that. That's what I'm saying. And yes, I do agree that Nolan did take Batman level. You have that like Martin Scorsese. High movies you have. Before that, people always think that comic book movies are just just action and but kind of made a lot more.
Ashraf, হ্যালো আশরাফ, তোমার কথাবার্তা খুব কেটে কেটে আসতেছে. I don't know why. এটা কি তোমার ইন্টারনেটে কোনো প্রবলেম হচ্ছে?
I think আমার মনে হয় ওই যে বৃষ্টি হয়েছিল তো এইজন্য.
আচ্ছা.
লাইনের সমস্যা.
আচ্ছা না, বিকজ তোমার লাস্ট 10 মিনিটস তোমার মানে 5 মিনিটস তোমার কথাটা বুঝি নাই. তুমি একটু কাইন্ডলি আরেকবার বলো তো, শুনতে পারি নাই.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying was that Nolan kind of took like before the Dark Knight trilogy, comic book movies weren't taken that seriously. Yes, Tim Burton's Batman and Richard Donner's Superman, they were
considered
like
children's movie, বাচ্চাদের মুভি মনে করা হয়তো.
They were serious movies. They were adult oriented, but I mean Christopher Nolan kind of took Batman to like Martin Scorsese level, I would say.
মানে ভেরি
Like to
সিনেম্যাটিক, মানে তুমি বলতে চাচ্ছ যে খুবই সিনেম্যাটিক
yeah,
লেভেলে নিয়ে গেছে।
very cinematic, right?
রাইট রাইট রাইট।
So I will give credit for that. So he did take that and kind of change the superhero genre to get to a more artsy level. So yeah,
Yeah, very cinematic, very cinematic, and
cinematic.
Like, yeah, very cinematic, and like I said in my previous podcast that before, excuse me, that নোলানের আগে আমরা কিন্তু আসলে মানে কল্পনা করি নাই that we could see comic book movies in such a cinematic grand scale. হ্যাঁ, বিকজ আমরা যদি টিম বার্টনেরও ইউনিভার্স দেখি, তার আগের মানে প্রেডেসেসরদেরকেও দেখি, ইট ওয়াজ ভেরি কনফাইন্ড কিন্তু মানে হ্যাঁ তোমাকে একটু গ্লিমসেস দেখাইতো যে একটা সিটি ছিল, হ্যাঁ, অথবা বাট ইট ওয়াজ ভেরি লাইক মানে সেট ওরিয়েন্টেড আছে না, যে স্টুডিও সেট বিল্ড করে, সো অন অ্যান্ড সো ফোর্থ, বাট ওভারঅল যে একটা গ্র্যান্ডিও যে না দিস ইজ আ লিভিং ব্রিদিং সিটি, হ্যাঁ, এটা কিন্তু আমরা নোলানের ইয়াতে কিন্তু ফার্স্ট টাইম আমরা দেখতে পারছিলাম যে ইট ওয়াজ আ কমপ্লিট লাইক মানে লিভিং ব্রিদিং ওয়ার্ল্ড, হ্যাঁ, নট জাস্ট লাইক আচ্ছা 5-6টা হাতে ক্যারেক্টার আছে এদেরকে খালি দেখাও, না, ইট ওয়াজ অ্যাকচুয়ালি আ লিভিং ব্রিদিং ওয়ার্ল্ড। লাইক তুমি আমরা যদি লাইক মানে প্রিভিয়াস মুভিগুলি যদি আমরা দেখে ওদেরকে যদি আমরা মানে ডাইসেক্ট করি, ইটস লাইক অল সেট পিসেস, প্রতিটা সিন হলো না এটা একটা সেট পিস, এখানে বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে দিজ আর এক্সট্রাস, সো অন অ্যান্ড সো ফোর্থ। বাট নোলান তুমি যে কথাটা বললা যে একটা সিনেম্যাটিক যে একটা রিয়েলিজম আছে, হ্যাঁ, এই যে স্করসেসির যে স্টোরিগুলি বলে, মব স্টোরি বলুক ইয়া যেটাই বলুক, হ্যাঁ, এই যে সিনেম্যাটিক ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ যেটা বলে যে দ্যাট which is called cinematic. I think Nolan was the first one that changed the whole comic book genre by bringing it to a cinematic level. Do you agree?
Yes, I do. Right.
All right, fantastic.
Give him.
So এখন আমরা আস্তে আস্তে একটু সেগওয়ে করি টু দ্য আফটার দ্য ডার্ক নাইট রাইজেস এন্ড এভরিথিং, আমরা আমাদের তখন ফার্স্ট সুপারম্যান রিবুট পাইলাম, and that was Man of Steel. So let me just slowly bring up the Man of Steel poster. Oh, hey, so when you first saw Man of Steel, what did you think?
Okay, so when I saw Man of Steel, I was, as usual, expecting a more, Richard Donner kind of movie, like Superman saving people and all that. So, and when I watched it, I was a lot disappointed because, like it was more like, the whole movie was Superman kind of realizing his like his
Existence, মানে or
role in the world, yeah, role in the universe, Kal-El. So I was a lot disappointed, and I thought, since Nolan was involved in it, so I thought, it was another Dark Knight trilogy with Superman. So I was a lot disappointed, and I was very critical of it. But then I watched the second time, and before that I actually watched Watchmen and 300.
মানে you started studying Zack Snyder, তুমি Zack Snyder ব্যাপারে একটু মানে রিসার্চ করা শুরু করছো।
Research, right. So by that time I kind of got what the types of movie that Zack Snyder makes. So when I watched the second time, I realized that the direction he was going, Zack Snyder, he was developing the character of Superman, Kal-El finding himself, instead of giving us the Superman that we know and we're familiar with, like from the get-go. So then I started to appreciate the films, appreciate his films, Zack Snyder's films. So then I heard about, like Batman's gonna be in the sequel, so I got
Acha,
excited.
okay. We'll come to BVS very soon. Other than Man of Steel and before BVS, তোমার কাছে জ্যাক স্নাইডার যে অন্য মুভিগুলি তুমি যেগুলি দেখছো, তুমি যে বলো ওয়াচম্যান, 300, মেবি তুমি
Dawn of the Dead
ডন
also.
অফ দ্য ডেড, সাকার পাঞ্চ, এগুলি যে দেখছো, কেমন লাগছিল ওগুলি? মানে উইচ ওয়ান আউট অফ অল দোজ তোমার মানে মোরলেস একটু ভালো লাগে, লাইক
Yeah.
কমিক বুক মুভি ছাড়া? Well, which is funny because
Except
most of his
comic
movies are
movies.
comic book movies because
Comic
Watchmen
books.
is a comic book, 300 is also a comic book. So,
Nah,
মানে ডিসির বাইরে ওর কোন মুভিটা তোমার ভালো লাগছে?
I still think his best at directing comic book movies, more than I would say other kind of movies. But like except comic books, I think Dawn of the Dead was good, great, and I'm excited for
Army of the Dead.
also.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So যখন I think you were following Comic Con by then, তো যখন ওই যে জ্যাক স্নাইডার যে মানে কমিক কনের মধ্যে যে ও আসছিল, হ্যারি লেনেক্সকে যে আনছিল, এন্ড ওই যে আমাদের ওই যে দ্য ডার্ক নাইট রিটার্নস এর যে ডায়লগটা যে হ্যারি
Dialogue,
লেনেক্স
right,
বললো,
yeah.
হ্যাঁ, মানে হাউ ডিড ইউ ফিল তুমি যখন এটা ফার্স্ট টাইম দেখছো?
I was really excited. I mean, like this was the first time like Superman and Batman was gonna be in the same movie, and I mean, I by that time I kind of knew that like since the 90s, Warner Bros was trying to make a Batman Superman crossover film and also a Justice League movie. So I was excited. I mean, it was like a dream. Like then and I was a lot more excited because I thought that Zach would bring back the comic book Batman. Because by that time people, I mean, Batman actually meant Christian Bale's Batman. Like
that
at
became the
that
staple.
time,
That became the staple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Keaton was like forgotten or something like that. I loved Keaton. He was my favorite Batman at that time. So so I was kind of like I wanted Batman to kind of
মানে go back to his roots আর কি, go back to his comic book roots আর কি, হ্যাঁ। আচ্ছা,
distance himself from Nolan's Batman, and so I was
মানে you were excited to see a new interpretation আর কি, মানে নতুন একটা যে version আসবে, you were very
new
excited.
interpretation and a more comic book interpretation.
Right. More I mean more how do you say, I mean more accurate to the comic book canonicity. Acha, so যখন তুমি first trailer টা দেখছিলা, and right now we're going to bring in the first poster of one of the greatest CBM movies of all time on screen, BVS. So তুমি যখন প্রথম ট্রেলারটা first time দেখছিলা তখন কেমন লাগছিল, the first trailer that was released?
Yeah, I mean like everybody else, I was so hyped up. Like, I mean, I thought like I thought it was kind of like a dream because I've never seen such a movie. I mean, like before, and it was so grand. I mean, the trailers and I mean, like the way he nailed the characters. I was like from the first teaser trailer.
ওই false god, ওই যে false god.
Yeah, and I mean, it was.
মানে basically your hair stood up, মানে literally like goosebumps.
Right.
Acha, okay, so let's talk about a very interesting thing that I think like when BVS বাংলাদেশে মানে opening day এখানে আসছিল, হ্যাঁ, আমি along with Shakib Bhai and the Geek Myth team and Gibran Tanvir plus a lot of their মানে friends and everyone, আমরা একসাথে হলে দেখতে গেছিলাম, and I think it was the afternoon show, like 11টা থেকে 12টার টাইমটা, হ্যাঁ। সো তুমিও কি ওই টাইমে সেম টাইমে কি ওই যে স্টার সিনেপ্লেক্সে দেখতে গেছিলা?
Yeah, I watched the 1 p.m. show. I still remember it. 1 p.m. show. I think it was the same hall.
ওই যে ঠিক
remember, yeah.
ফুড স্ট্যান্ডের অপোজিটে ওই যে
Yeah, opposite,
সোফাগুলির
right.
ওই যে সোফাগুলির পাশে, রাইট? Like there are
হ্যাঁ,
two
হ্যাঁ,
doors. One is right next to that ওই যে that lounging sofa area, and ঠিক তার পাশে একটা ডিভাইডারের পাশে আরেকটা দরজা। সো তুমি মানে ওই মানে চেয়ারস গুলো কি একটু বেশি বড় ছিল না, একটু কমফি চেয়ার গুলি ছিল না তোমার হলে? Or were they the smaller
Uh,
chairs?
no, I think the comfy chairs. Yeah,
ওকে ওকে, তুমি
as far as I
কি
remember.
আরো পিছনে বসছিলা না সামনে বসছিলা?
I think was B, I think. The B row
Okay,
was
then you were up front. I was in G.
up front.
I was in G, aro pichone, and you know, I fought with you know, Gibran, like, you know, because আমরা ওই যে the perfect angle, মানে আমি আর জিব্রান
Oh,
এসব
okay.
perfect angle খুঁজে বাই করছিলাম অন্য যে ডেডপুল দেখতে গিয়ে and all that. So so যখন BVS আসে তখন like I told Gibran that dude BVS এর সময় I want the G7 seat, আমি কিছু বুঝি না, I want the G7 seat. So he gave me that seat, and you know, I'll be forever thankful to Gibran. Shout out to Gibran. Acha, so yeah, so how I mean, interesting it is that we both, you know, we were there in the same hall. We didn't know each
Yeah,
other, but we were in the same hall. And if you remember when the movie ended, সবাই যে হাততালি চিল্লাচিল্লি
Yeah, everybody.
কান্নাকাটি, মানে everybody got so emotional after we saw it. I remember যে আমার ডান পাশে জিব্রান, তার ডান পাশে সাকিব ভাইয়া, তারপর আরো অন্য ভাইয়ারা, and সবাই মানে মার্থা সিন দেখলাম, সবকিছু দেখলাম, আর আমাদের চোখ দিয়ে না পানি বাইর হইতেছে, মানে খুশির জল, যেটাকে বলে খুশির জল, মানে হ্যাপি টিয়ার্স. So all right, so amra let's talk about BVS a little more. So tell me, like, you know, your experience with the BVS and the Ultimate Edition.
So when I went to watch BVS, you know, I mean, from the beginning, like from
The intro, the
you know,
first
the
scene.
graveyard scene, yeah. Like
Beautiful
from the
Lie.
first scene, yeah, the beautiful lie scene,
Mm-hmm.
until the end, it was like, you know, I mean, totally surreal. I was so, I mean, I was still feeling like it was a dream. Like, I mean, I've never seen something like that, and you know, especially those nightmare sequences. You know,
Omega symbol যখন দেখছিলাম তখন তো
symbol,
মাথা
like-
খারাপ হয়ে গেছিল, and the parademons, man, oh my god.
that was fucking awesome. So, I mean, yeah, I was like, I mean, I think, I mean, a lot of people around me, like, didn't know Dark Side, or maybe, I mean, like, when the Omega symbol came up, I was like, I mean, nobody understood that it was a reference to Dark Side, and I was,
তুমি কি
I was
একা
like,
গেছিলা না
surprised.
তোমার সাথে তোমার ফ্রেন্ডসরাও গেছিল?
I went alone. I mean, I have a friend who loves superhero movies, but I love watching movies, like, especially if it's not a family-friendly movie. I mean, if it's like a serious film, I love to watch it alone. You know,
Right.
That way, I can take it all in.
Right.
instead of,
Fantastic. Acha, so let's talk a bit more. Like, okay, one of my most rememberable moments from BVS was intro দেখে তো আমার মাথা তো খারাপ হয়েই গেছিল, right? But remember the first time we see Batman, right? When the cop car pulls up in GCPD, and we see the signboard that says the end is nigh, and all that stuff. And যখন পুলিশরা যে ভিতরে ঢুকে, and they find those, you know,
That's a horror scene.
it felt like a horror movie. And when they find those sex trafficking victims, those girls, and ওরা যে দরজাটা খুলে, and মেয়েটা যে দরজাটা ফিরত টান দেয়, বলে no বের হবো না, it's still here. And I was like, oh my god, what is here? এখানে কি আছে? আমি খুব excited হয়ে গেছিলাম. And
It
that
felt like a James Wan movie, you know.
but it felt like a horror movie. And then যখন like ওই সিনটা যে যখন পুলিশটা যে উপরে যায়, and he sees that guy, you know, chained to the wall with the bat symbol branded on his chest, আর যখন ক্যামেরা অ্যাঙ্গেলটা যখন সাইড থেকে দেখায় যে ব্যাটম্যান কোনার মধ্যে বাদুরের মতন ঝুলতে আছে, I
I was honestly
swear to
scared.
God, আমি তো ভয় পাইছি আমি সাথে সাথে লাইক আমার পাশে জিব্রান ছিল ওর হাতটা চাইপা ধরে I was like dude that's Batman dude ওটা Batman dude ওটা Batman ওটা আসল Batman did you have a similar feeling
Yeah, I was scared to death. Like, I mean, like, I've never had this experience with Batman. Like, you know, yeah, Batman's supposed to scare criminals, but I was, I mean, I never thought he was going to scare me.
হ্যাঁ
Like,
yeah
with
exactly like আমরা কখনো কিন্তু কল্পনা করি না we never thought that we would experience that the fear that he uses to scare the criminals we as an audience will actually feel something
Yeah, right.
yeah so that was very one of the iconic moments for me যে first time যখন ওর ব্যাটম্যানটাকে দেখছি I was like oh my god yes I'm in this is my Batman আমি আর কোনো ব্যাটম্যান চিনি না এটাই আমার ব্যাটম্যান কবরে এই ব্যাটম্যানই নিয়ে যাব ভাই এটাই আর কিছু বুঝি না so yeah I was locked in I was completely locked in so what about the legendary যেটা মানুষ খুব পাকায় এই ছবিটার ব্যাপারে the scene that everyone makes a mockery of the Martha scene what did you think about that
I never understood the hate, you know. I mean, I watched this scene and I was totally okay with it, and I was, I mean, like the way Batman was screaming and he was so like lost and confused, and then the opening sequence, the flashbacks come up, and I was a lot. I mean, at that in that scene, I got a lot emotional, and I don't get the hate at all, and I don't see why people don't understand it at all. I mean, it wasn't because they shared their mother's name, but rather because Batman comes to the realization that throughout the movie his understanding of Superman was completely wrong. And that he wasn't a monster. He was
he was more human being than he was more of a human being,
right.
than Batman himself. No, because you're right because মানুষজন এই জিনিসটা কিন্তু grasp করে নাই that other than Batman, Superman, Lois Lane and a few Lex Luthor এরা ছাড়াও that there were two very I mean there was one more very important character যেটা মানুষরা কিন্তু পুরা ওদের মাথার উপর দিয়ে চলে গেছে which was the media. Right, because আমাদেরকে কেন ওই নিউজ ক্লিপস গুলি দেখাচ্ছিল the discussions the topics that people talking about even Neil deGrasse Tyson one of our greatest I mean physician or scientist of our time even he was there talking and so on and so forth and also that opening scene that the world meets Superman মানে এই যে connect করছে with the ending of Man of Steel to BVS and how the rest of the people because আমরা তো সবসময় সুপার হিরোদের পয়েন্ট অফ ভিউ থেকে দেখি right so একটা জিনিস তুমি দেখো which was really মানে hypocritical of people that Marvel কিন্তু এই জিনিসটা জিমোকে দিয়ে কিন্তু দেখাইছে in Civil War that Zemo is the one who had PTSD after the whole Age of Ultron thing so on and so forth and এই জন্য পুরা অ্যাভেঞ্জার্সদের সম্পর্ক নষ্ট করে দিছে বাট এটা মানুষ গ্রাসপই করতে পারলো না যে a superhero can have a very similar reaction as well because ও দেখতেছে যে ওর আশেপাশে day one these alien beings are আসছে who have godlike powers and they're literally destroying the whole world মানে it's not even genocide it's like an annihilation of the whole world so I for me personally I completely agreed with Zack Snyder's version of why Batman was reacting the way he was reacting plus এই যে আমরা তো পুরো মুভিতে দেখছি that রবিনের একটা স্যুট ছিল which relates to the death in the family storyline আর তুমি তো জানো যে আন্ডার দ্য হুড তো কার্টুনটা তো দেখছো এন্ড কমিকটাও মনে হয় পড়ছো যেখানে আমরা দেখি যে the fallout of that how Batman reacted to the death of Jason Todd so on and so forth and আমাদেরকে কিন্তু কোনো রেফারেন্সও দেয় নাই যে there were more Robins in the universe so we only knew that there was this Robin there was no Tim Drake or no nothing and he's been Batman for 20 years without a Robin and he has like come to the moral bankruptcy of fighting a losing war with criminals, and now এমনই beings from outer planet আসছে that humans are nothing to these godlike beings. So yeah,
Right.
হ্যাঁ, so আমার কাছে এটা like I completely understood the references and everything because আমি যত কমিক পড়ছিলাম after মানে ব্যাটম্যানের 50 নিউ 52 এর আগে, I mean, Zack Snyder যা রেফারেন্স দেখাচ্ছিল ফ্রম ব্যাটম্যানস পয়েন্ট অফ ভিউ, আমার মাথার মধ্যে প্রতিটা জিনিস না ঠাস 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 করে ক্লিক করতেছিল। আর আমি জিবিকে বলতেছিলাম,
Right.
ডুড দ্যাটস অ্যান অ্যালেক্স রস মানে পেইন্টিং, দিস ইজ দিস, ডুড এটা জীবন আমাকে বারবার বলতেছিল, ডুড শাট আপ, ডুড শাট আপ, ডুড শাট আপ, এনজয় দ্য মুভি, ডুড শাট আপ। হ্যাঁ, আমি খালি একটু পর ওকে ডিস্টার্ব করতেছিলাম। হ্যাঁ, আর আমি একটু পর ডান দিকে তাকায় দেখতেছিলাম, লাইক এভরি টাইম আমি দেখতেছিলাম শাকিব ভাই ইজ লাইক গেটিং ইমোশনাল, লাইক ভাইয়া হি ওয়াজ ওয়াচিং দ্য মুভিজ লাইক বাহ কি দেখতেছি, মানে he was really enjoying himself. So it was an
Even comic book writers actually, agree with what Zack Snyder did in both Man of Steel and BVS. I mean, you've got Jim Lee, who is
হ্যাঁ জিম লি তো ইনভলভড
totally with
ছিল,
Zack.
হ্যাঁ যে জিম লি was
I mean,
involved.
even I think if Jeff Johns wasn't arrogant and he really didn't have those like aspirations to be DC's Feige, then I think
Actually
he
এটা
would have
কতক্ষণ
agreed to
right
Zack Snyder.
right, you're right, because কতক্ষণ আগে I think you saw the messages that আমাদের
Yeah.
one of our friends fellow DC and DCEU fans he was talking about this, and I was trying to explain it to him that this issue with Jeff Johns started way before even Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan came into the scene. So I think you also know the story. So আমরা let's not talk about that right now. আমরা আস্তে আস্তে
Okay.
সামনে আগাই because এই টপিকটা আবার আসবে. So after BVS we saw Suicide Squad. So what was your opinion on Suicide Squad?
Okay, so Suicide Squad, when I saw the set photos, I really didn't think it was gonna be a good movie. I just thought it was unnecessary, and then I went to watch Suicide Squad after watching the trailers, especially to see the DCU version of version of Gotham,
Right.
and Harley Quinn and
Joker and Deadshot and
initially,
everyone.
I wasn't really a fan of Leto's Joker, but Margot Robbie nailed it. So I was like, honestly, I wanted to watch a Batman movie with Ben Affleck and Margot Robbie and all other
ওই
Batman villains,
assault on
and-
Arkham style, ওই যে আমরা যে একটা কার্টুন যে বের করছিল Warner Brothers, like
Yeah.
assault on
And-
Arkham.
and I think I went to watch Suicide Squad. I mean, exactly for that. Like
না
the
কাজ
Gotham and-
ওরা তো কিছু ব্যাটম্যানের সিন টিজ করছিল with him jumping onto the Lamborghini and all that.
yeah, especially that,
Yeah, and that hyped up that movie. What did you think of Will Smith's performance?
I really didn't think he should have been cast in that role. I mean, he was Will Smith as Deadshot, and I mean it wasn't the Deadshot from the comics. It was more like Will Smith as Deadshot. So I mean,
Yeah, that's
and
fine. That's complete. That's
I don't
a.
think
Mhm.
I have a complaint because I mean, Will Smith. I mean, e- e- everybody loves him, and I mean, no matter what character he plays, I mean, he's playing himself. But I mean, everyone loves it, so I didn't have much of an issue. But yeah,
মানে
I mean,
it was neither here nor there. You were just okay
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it. Okay, yeah. Me personally, I really liked his performance, especially like those dramatic moments যখন মানে দেখাইতেছিল, like he was looking out the window, and like they were
Yeah.
beats, and পরে আমরা জানতে পারছি, তো now we know that there is an actual David Ayer's cut of the movie that has more that is also another like completely different movie and so on and so forth. So yeah, so Suicide Squad, all in all, visually I was really impressed. I was genuinely
Yeah.
very impressed because ওরা যে Killer Croc কে দেখাইছে, হ্যাঁ, and coming from the comics and the Arkham games,
Yeah.
I never thought that they would actually pull off a real life like live action Killer Croc. You know, মানে আমি কল্পনাই করি নাই যে ওরা এটা ভিজুয়ালি দেখাইতে পারবে without CG. And they did a masterful job with the makeup and everything. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
agree. And I think they won
Yeah, I
an
love,
Oscar for their visual representation, the
visual,
makeup and
yeah.
special effects. So that was very amazing. Okay, and then after Suicide Squad, let's move on to Wonder Woman. And here we have the beautiful Wonder Woman poster coming up on screen. So what did you think of Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman. I actually watched Wonder Woman a lot later. I think after Aquaman,
Acha, acha.
because
Okay.
you know, like Wonder Woman as a character, like a solo character, doesn't
Intrigue you.
really fascinate. Yeah,
Mhm.
doesn't really intrigue me a lot.
Mhm.
I like her more with you know, the
Justice
other
League.
heroes. Yeah.
Mhm.
as part
Trinity,
of the
Trinity, Baba,
as part of the
Trinity.
Trinity. Yeah, part of the Trinity, right?
Mhm.
And I felt actually, you know, I mean, Gal Gadot was a lot better under Zach's direction than
Patty Jenkins. Yeah,
I
completely.
felt a lot.
Completely.
But
And
the
I think
movie,
Bolo?
I think the Wonder Woman movie in itself, I mean, the story was written by Zack Snyder, and I think he did a masterful job, and you know, like introducing an Wonder Woman, and also, you know, making a compelling story, you know, like with Themyscira, and you know, especially setting her around the time of the World Wars. You know, I think
and
that was
and
really,
and this is
you
the
know,
genius of Zack Snyder, that he was the first who pushed for a female-led superhero movie, like, you know, a woman in the lead. Warner Brothers কিন্তু প্রথমে Wonder Woman করতে চায় নাই, হ্যাঁ, they didn't want to hire Patty Jenkins, ওরা অনেক কিছু করতে চায় না, এবার Zack Snyder push করছে যে no, you have to make this movie, এটা করতে হবে.
yeah.
So you know that, you know, credit lies where credit lies, হ্যাঁ, মানে credit is given where credit is due. You know, Zack Snyder
I mean,
did it first, man.
like if you think of all the female-led superhero movies, you know, none of them had this, you know, a story like that, or you know, the setting, and you know, I think it was really, you know, I mean, Zach should be like given an award for like coming up with the first successful female-led,
Female-led superhero movie, or a female-led movie, মানে period, that she gets the top billing. Like আমরা যতই
Yeah.
পোস্টার দেখছি, অন্যান্য হিরোদের, অন্যান্য অ্যাক্টর or অ্যাক্ট্রেসদের নাম কিন্তু অত ছিল না, নিচে ছিল, where you see the, you know, produced by Warner Brothers, blah 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 blah, যে অন্যান্য ডিটেইলস যে
right.
থাকে, but it was always like, you know, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, মানে ওইভাবেই কিন্তু ওরা মার্কেটিং এ পুশ করছে, ওরা কিন্তু লেখে না ক্রিস পাইন আছে, হেনো আছে, তেনো আছে, they just went with like just promoting Gal Gadot, like, you know, it's her, it's all about her, you know, and all that stuff. So হ্যাঁ, I agree with you. So moving forward from Wonder Woman, আমরা ওটার পোস্টার আমি ছাপাবো না, but আমরা we will talk about the abomination that changed everything. Let's talk about Justice League 2017. আমার জীবনটা মানে উল্টাপুল্টা হয়ে গেছিল because of this
Right.
movie. So, you know, I am very notoriously known আমাদের সোসাইটিতে, thanks to, you know, Geek Myth and Gibran, who have made me known to a lot of people thanks to their
Okay.
show Geek Myth. তোমরা সবাই আমাকে চিনতে পারছো through Geek Myth. In fact, no, I think Ashraf, didn't you and I meet on Twitter? Like তোমার সাথে আমার
Yes,
first পরিচয় হয়েছিল না টুইটারে?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so along with Jabed, another friend of ours who is also you know, a DC and DCEU fan, Ashraf Anam was one of the few other Bengali people, Bangladeshis, that I saw on Twitter actually, you know, tweeting, you know, release the Snyder Cut and fighting alongside me. So how did you get onto Twitter? Tell me your journey from Justice League to Twitter. Kemne eta hoilo? Bolo, tomar side of the story bolo.
Okay, so after BVS, I think the Comic Con special footage of Justice League was released, and you know, I mean, I really didn't like the tone they were going. I was hearing news that Warner Brothers they didn't want to go with the tone of Man of Steel and BVS, and they were moving on to a more lighter tone. So I
Mm-hmm.
was,
Skeptical and worried. You were skeptical.
skeptical and worried. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was a lot worried. Like, where where is this going? So I didn't actually like this uh, the Comic Con footage. I mean the tone, but yeah, I mean
Mm-hmm.
the direction he was going. I mean, like the way he was trying to build up Justice League. I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you know more news came up that, like, there were problems with the production, and like Warner Bros. Didn't really want to go with Zack Snyder's tone of the movie. They were,
They were listening to the
like
critics and the feedback.
yeah, yeah. They were listen to the
They were
listen
reacting.
to
They
the
were
critics and
reacting
the
to the
haters,
critics. They were reacting to the critics
and
and
the
the
haters,
haters.
and this kind of reminded me of what happened with the Batman films, Tim Burton's Batman films.
Mm-hmm.
Batman Returns. It got a lot of
Backlash.
backlash for being a lot dark
Mm-hmm.
and having some sexual innuendos. Although I don't think those innuendos were
Sure, no, 30 years of my
intentional.
life, I've watched that movie. I do not think any of the Burton movies were dark. They were artistically dark because before the Tim Burton movies, I think Batman the Animated
For the
Series was already running, maybe. But
the
tonally, it.
time, I
Mm-hmm.
think for the time, I mean, it was the darkest superhero movie. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
at the time, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So then Warner Bros. Went with
Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher, and then we got Batman Forever. So I was just, it just reminded me of that. That are we getting another Batman Forever, or worse, Batman and Robin with Justice League? So
Mm-hmm.
then I heard about the reshoots and Joss Whedon coming in. That was
Mm.
the worst thing. I mean, like,
That could
I
happen.
mean,
Mm.
the worst day of my life, I would say. When I heard that Joss Whedon was coming in,
And Zack Snyder
and
left. And
that's
his
and
daughter committed suicide. God.
come to
Yeah.
say that.
Mm.
So then Junkie XL was fired, and I mean, like, things went down.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything was just a string of bad news. Junkie XL was fired. They brought in better Namki. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Uh,
The guy,
Daniel,
Danny
see,
Elfman. Yeah, Danny
uh,
Elfman. Yeah.
people now hate on Danny Elfman a lot, but I think, I mean, Danny Elfman came with the iconic Batman theme, and I mean, I'm a Tim Burton fan, and
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to almost like all movie soundtracks by Danny Elfman, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a genius. But I mean, um,
I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think. What happened with Danny Elfman? I think in
yeah,
the last minute while they were editing the movie, they called up Danny Elfman. He's like, "Hey, come on
yeah,
in.
yes,
Hey, we have to release a movie in 1 week. Just make the soundtrack." And Danny Elfman's like,
yeah,
"আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে
right.
ভাই, আমি কি করবো? What am I gonna do? Or let me just bring up all my old stuff and just mix it with the new stuff." And
Exactly.
একটা কিছু মানে he just dialed it in. আমরা বলি না, like he just dialed the whole soundtrack in. I think that's what he did. I mean, yeah, it only makes sense because yeah, you're right because তুমি যদি টিম বার্টনের কাজ মানে টিম বার্টনের ব্যাটম্যানের টাইমে ড্যানি এলফম্যানের স্কোর দেখো প্লাস অন্যান্য
Then
মুভির
there
স্কোর
was
দেখো
Spider-Man,
the first
Tobey
Spider-Man
Maguire.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man, those were great.
Spider-Man.
He
Yeah,
he did a great job. So I don't think Danny Elfman should get the hate that he's getting, but at the same time, it's just that because of what happened, and what happened, everyone jara like mane anti Zack টিমের আন্ডারে পড়ে গেছিল, everyone, whether you were innocent or not,
Yeah,
everyone
I
got
get it.
the brunt of it. আচ্ছা, so anyways, moving forward, হ্যাঁ, so then what happened? Danny Elfman আসছে, তারপর বলো।
So I already knew that the movie was going to be Zach's movie, and it was going to be the movie that at least I want to watch as a fan of Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel. So and then I heard about I think it was Kevin Sujihara who said that it's gotta be 2 hours just to see.
Yeah, he made the mandate
for
to cut it down to 2 hours.
certain hours, and I'm a fan of long movies. Like if I'm I mean if the subject matter is interesting, I don't mind a 4 or 5 hour movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you're being
the Lord of
entertained,
the
you're being
Rings.
entertained. এখানে কোনো মানে time is not a factor if you're being entertained.
Like a lot of people complain about the lengths of movies, but Lord of the Rings, I mean, I actually love the extended cut. I mean, it's
Oh
like
yeah, I saw the director's
and-
cut, all three in one
Yeah.
straight go. It was a marathon. Saw it.
yeah, I just love it. I mean, if I'm interested in something, I can watch it all day. So I didn't mind it. So when it was like 2 hours, I heard that it was cut down to 2 hours. And I was thinking that if the ultimate edition of Batman vs Superman was like 3 hours, then I mean, what are they gonna show in in 2 hours, like
In Justice League, right.
in Justice League, like with Justice League? So because I mean they've got to develop a lot of characters, like Flash's character, and
Basically,
Jason
that movie is like
Right.
a bad khichdi. Let's just say that
Yeah.
the movie is like a bad khichdi. That that মানে মার্কেট করছে যে হ্যাঁ ভাই আসেন খান, খুব মজার জিনিস, হ্যাঁ মানে 20 টাকা প্লেট, বাট তুমি 20 টাকার প্লেট খায় 200 টাকার ওষুধ খেতেছো, হ্যাঁ, it's kind of like that kind of a situation.
and I didn't even like the promos. Like it was so colorful, and I mean the songs in the trailers. It I mean it felt like an an 90s MTV movie. Like those songs in the trailers. I didn't like that. So I already knew it wasn't gonna be good. So then by October I was like a lot disappointed, but then I thought, okay, let's give it a try. I mean, let's go to the theater. So I went to watch it, and I mean, like, it was, the pacing was so fast. I mean, and the it was so obvious that the movie was like they just crammed a 4-hour movie into 2 hours. It was very obvious. I mean, I had issues with Suicide Squad's
Pacing.
choppy editing. Like
Pacing and
editing
choppy
was bad.
editing.
choppy editing, but this was worse. I mean, like it was like some kid made a movie.
Right.
Amateur film student made a movie. I think even a film student would make a better movie than Justice League. So and the the Marvel level jokes, I hated them, and the CGI was like
Awful. It was just awful.
haywire. Yeah.
So okay, so when did you first hear about release the Snyder Cut?
Okay, so I mean, I was so disappointed when I came back home. I was like literally crying. That I mean, like since the 90s, Warner Bros have been uh, trying to make a Justice League movie, and DC fans have been waiting for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And when Zack Snyder made it possible, like he made the impossible possible with
Mm-hmm.
Man of Steel and BVS, and he set up everything, set up
Mm-hmm.
Justice League, and I mean, at and after all this,
Mm-hmm.
Warner Bros. Screwed it all up. They
Mm.
just threw it into the water. So
Mm-hmm.
I was so disappointed. And then after some days, I saw a photo. I think have you heard of Itzmo?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Moy. It's Moy.
Itzmo,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's Mo. It's Moy.
yeah.
Ha,
So
ha.
I saw her with a couple of others.
Yeah. The first release, the Snyder
dressed
Cut
up,
gathering in front of
yeah,
Warner Brothers.
gathering.
Yeah.
I saw that photo, and I mean, I like instantly fell in love with it. When I was for I felt a lot of respect for Ismo for starting. I know.
Mhm.
I mean, she didn't start it, but
Hmm.
she kind of popularized it, the
Mm-hmm.
movement. So
Mm-hmm.
I was I instantly went. I mean, I was all into it. So
Right.
and then the
Mm-hmm. So,
then
so
I
was it after that that you opened
followed.
it to a Twitter account?
No, I had a Twitter account
Okay, from
I think
before. Hmm.
before Man of Steel. I already had one, but I didn't use it
Right.
much. I was just on Twitter to follow celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
See, so then I started following Release the Snyder Cut on Twitter, and
The
then
RTSC account, right?
yeah, the RTRC account, and then
Mm-hmm.
you know the events came up. In
Mm-hmm.
every event,
You just tweeted.
I tweeted the hashtag. I uh, I tried that. I tried to be in every event.
Right.
Um, I didn't miss any, maybe. So
Well, here you go, Spartans. We have another Spartan from Bangladesh representing, doing the best he can. And I guess, Ashraf, আমরা বলতে পারি, we can say that your efforts and all of our efforts finally gave us what we wanted. And I am going to bring up the poster up on screen right now. So here we go. So, okay. So Zack Snyder's Justice League. So যখন এটা announce হয়েছিল, when it was announced, where were you? How did you feel? What's going on?
okay, so I think it was Ramadan on the 27th night of Ramadan. So and
No,
Zack Snyder
I think it was May 20th. May মাসের 20 তারিখে. I think it was announced.
20th.
I think it was May 20th.
Yeah. I mean, May 20th, 27th night of Ramadan. Um,
আচ্ছা.
so yeah, so I was busy praying, and then and I already heard that Zack Snyder was gonna do
Man of
live
Steel.
yeah,
Man of Steel watch
live
party.
commentary on
Mm-hmm.
Man of Steel. So I tuned in. So and I was watching it, and I think the internet, at that time, like all over Bangladesh, it was kind of slow, and it was the video was choppy, and I was
You were having trouble watching the stream.
yeah, I was having trouble. So and then after thankfully, when the panel showed up, Henry Cavill showed up. From then on, I didn't have any problem. I was the video, so I was watching it, and
Okay,
the
how did you
mo-
feel? Because if you were tweeting and you were part of the movement in the front lines, you know that everybody, like November 20, November, I think November 17, 2019 আমরা পুরো worldwide trending করে ফেলছিলাম release the Snyder cut and
Oh.
everybody from the Justice League cast and crew behind the scene and the whole industry tweeted release the Snyder cut, but Henry Cavill কিন্তু he did not tweet release the Snyder cut or say anything about it, right? So
Yeah.
and you know the conversations that was happening. Okay, maybe Henry is against this, so on and so forth, blah 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 blah. A lot of articles came out, so on and so forth. So how did you feel when Henry Cavill suddenly showed up into the live stream? তখন তোমার কাছে কেমন
so,
লাগছিল?
I didn't think. I mean, I didn't hate Henry for that. I mean, I thought maybe he was busy with something else. Like
Witcher. He was busy promoting Witcher.
Yeah, with Witcher. So I really didn't complain about Henry Cavill not tweeting it. I mean, I knew he was. Zach was a friend of his, and he would surely support it. So when he showed up, I heard a lot of people that they were like, when Henry showed up, people were like already sure, he was
Something's
gonna
gonna
announce
happen.
it.
Something's gonna
Announce
happen.
it, but I didn't. I thought that it was a Man of Steel watch party. So
right.
Henry Cavill showing up, he's Superman, it's his movie. So I didn't feel that he was gonna
Announce or
announce
say
the Snyder
anything.
cut. Yeah.
Okay.
Announce the
Snyder cut.
the Snyder cut. So so after when Henry said that,
I think you should show
I
it.
reckon you should. Yeah. So I reckon even then I was thinking maybe something related to the Snyder Cut movement or something like that. I still didn't think it's gonna be the announcement. So after it was announced, I was awestruck. I was like, I don't know, I don't know what to do. I was because I'll be honest, by 2000, last year, I was a bit skeptical that whether
you were losing hope. You were losing hope.
Losing hope, right? That whether Warner Bros is gonna release it, because they weren't responding at all.
They were being silent. After for everything that we did, they were being silent towards us. They weren't responding. They weren't saying anything. They were acknowledging us.
So I thought, maybe it's gonna come, maybe after 10 years or something like that.
Oh yeah. We were all prepared that if it's a 10-year long fight, we'll fight for 10 years. Who gives a shit?
So I kept on fighting, but I was also skeptical that maybe we're not gonna get it. But I still thought we should still continue fighting. So then when it was announced, and on HBO Max, and I was really I never thought this would happen, and up until that day, I really lost my interest in any future DC movie,
like Robert Pattinson's Batman, the new Suicide Squad, Shazam 2, Black Adam, so on and so forth.
No, I didn't watch Shazam. At that time, I haven't watched
neither
Shazam.
have I. Aamiyo dekhi nahi. I haven't watched Shazam either. Yeah, so I have no idea about that movie. All I know is that you have a headless Superman. That's all I know.
So I haven't watched Shazam up until that, and I watched Aquaman only because James Wan started shooting the movie in 2016. So
during Zach's time, he was doing it well Zach's time, right?
Zach's time. So he was already following the original storyline.
Original template, right?
And since he's known for making horror movies,
Mm-hmm.
very dark movies. So I thought, okay, so
It would be a very
I think
interesting thing to see that a
Aquaman,
horror director is directing Aquaman origin movie.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I liked it. I loved. I would say I loved it. Yeah, but I mean, there are moments like those pee jokes and all that.
Yeah,
I didn't like
there are
them.
cringy moments, and you know Jeff Johns is behind them. It's obvious who's behind all those cringy moments in that movie.
Yeah, I'm sure. Even with the costumes, like they were
Mm-hmm.
so different from
Mm-hmm.
you know Zack's universe, and
Mm-hmm. Now we are so used to a certain standard of polish, a certain standard of visual,
right.
quality. Even so, when I saw Aquaman, and I did not see it in opening theaters, I was boycotting that movie. পরে যখন later on when I saw it with my friend, and shout out to Reza. I watched the show with one of my best friends, Reza.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my god, why are they showing this? Why is it so colorful? Why are the suits Atlantean armor, like the out of the water armor, so Power Rangers যেমন quality, মানে
yeah,
it was like so
right.
funny. Even that huge chase sequence set piece, হ্যাঁ, like ওই যে হয় না ওই যে মিরার আকুয়াম্যানকে যে they're chasing them all over Venice or
Yeah,
Italy or something. I could tell, like, dude, that is CGI. This is a set piece. That pillar is fake. Like the polish that I have come to expect from DCEU, even with Suicide Squad's choppy editing, even with BVS's theatrical choppy editing, acting in the standard. There's a
yeah,
standard of the quality, like a good quality standard, and that was not there in that movie. I mean, yeah, when the actors, জেসন মোমোয়া বলো, মিরার কথা বলো, ডলফ
yeah.
লাংগ্রেনের কথা বলো, হ্যাঁ, even Orm, who was amazing in that movie, who was Hawk, Night
Yeah,
Owl from
Night
Watchmen.
Owl. Yeah, Patrick Stewart.
No, Patrick
Patrick
Wilson.
Wilson. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
Patrick
Patrick
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, so Patrick Wilson was amazing. His acting was
Yeah,
amazing.
I love
Nicole Kidman, Chirit Imwe, like Django Fett as Jason Momoa's father. It was amazing. The casting was amazing, but some of the visual choices that they made, I was really skeptical, because seeing the Atlantean hairdo look like fish butt, I found it to be really weird. Like আমি যখন ভালকোর চুল দেখতেছিলাম, and I was looking at his hair, I was like, dude, that looks like a fish's ass. Like that does not even look like a fin. That looks like a
right.
fish ass. So I found some of his visual like choices to be very questionable. But even then, I could forgive those. But those cringy moments, like why was Mira eating the flower? Like it was literally like, I mean, Little Mermaid abar dekhte ase. I was watching Little Mermaid all over again. I saw Little Mermaid when I was a child, and that specific scene with that music right before the chase, that Mira, who is an ancient Atlantean, there are flower
Yeah,
underwater the ocean. She should know what a bloody flower is. She's picking up a flower and eating it. And I'm like, what the hell? And then the set piece again. I mean, like I said, আমার স্টোরিটা নিয়ে অত প্রবলেম নাই. I have no problem with the story. It's just some of the visual choices, the QC, and some of the dialogues that they inserted for jokes. Nah, man. I did not. I
yeah.
genuinely did not enjoy it. Yes, if you give me a version of Aquaman, you cut out all those annoying stuff. That's a beautiful movie. And
Yeah,
another thing
I
is,
think it wasn't totally James Wan's movie.
no,
I
it
doubt.
wasn't. It wasn't
Jeff
James Wan's
Johns was
movie.
all over
এটা
it.
যখন তোমার নতুন Aquaman লোগোটা যে যখন দেখাইলো না, ডিউরিং ওই যে একটা যে ওরা যে they did a whole DC reshuffle, like it's no longer called the DCEU, it's called the DCU, and they changed the Aquaman logo from the dark
Oh,
original color
okay.
to the brighter blue color. That's when I knew that holy
Yeah,
shit, there's something wrong with this movie. I immediately knew the moment they changed the logo from the original Aquaman logo to the bluish one. I was like, okay, no, this is like totally like any moment with the Disney logo ta ase na, the Disney logo,
yeah,
that
like,
with that fairy flying on top. Like I thought any
yeah,
minute ওই logo ta
right.
aisha porbe. I was like, ugh, cringe. But I will say, and this is the one reason I'm thankful to the Aquaman movie, is that it gave Jason Momoa leverage to go around during the press junket of Aquaman and sneaking the Snyder cut in here
Snyder,
and
yeah.
there.
Right.
And that ignited our passion, and that led us to where we are today. So Jason Momoa, his loyalty towards Zack, is commendable. He has
Wonderful,
always
yeah.
been loyal to Zack, and it's
Zack,
just
yeah, right.
beautiful to watch. I cannot wait to see what happens with Wonder Woman 84, because that movie was made under Jeff Johns' era, and Patty Jenkins is Jeff Johns' new best
I mean,
friend. So
Wonder Woman 84 actually doesn't make sense. I mean, because Wonder Woman, the 2017 movie, was actually set in present day, and the story is in flashback. So after that, after Wonder Woman, actually Gal Gadot,
mhm.
moves into Justice League. I mean, I don't see how Wonder Woman 84 can fit into all this.
I do not know. Like I said, like if it was last year, I would be screaming and shouting and probably arguing with you right now. Like I would use a lot of slang or a lot of curse words on it. But now that Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out, I could not care, man. Michael Keaton can come back. They can turn all the male characters into female characters. I don't care. I'm getting my Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't care what DC does anymore, man. It doesn't matter, because the moment this movie is gonna come out, everything else will not match up to standard. I believe that. I know that.
I totally believe.
Like and I know that after this movie was released, everybody congratulated Zack Snyder except for আমাদের Mr. One Bhai, which is James Wan, and Patty Jenkins. So let's see what happens going into the future, because if you remember, during the Wonder Woman 84 press junket, Gal Gadot was asked in Brazil, I think, about the Snyder cut, and Patty Jenkins' face all automatically became so sullen. Like she's like, "Oh, what about my movie? Why are you asking about Zack Snyder's movie, bitch?" Like, yeah,
I mean, Wonder Woman's credit, I think, all goes to Zack Snyder. I mean, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Patty Jenkins directed it, it was actually Zack Snyder's Wonder Woman. Because he wrote the story and he
he was involved in
supervised
the he supervised it, executive produced it. So this is why I am very curious right now that versus Wonder Woman 1, where Zack was involved as much as he could be without Jeff Johns changing the final act of the movie, and this Wonder Woman, which does not have any involvement with Zack, how will it compare? So I'm very curious. I have my doubts that it will perform anywhere near as good as the first one. So let's see what happens.
I mean, I only want Wonder Woman 84 to do good, so that it can overshadow the failures of Birds of Prey. Although I
don't
won't
even
call
bring
it
up Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was a dumpster fire, and I'm sorry, fans of Birds of Prey. I feel sorry for the actors and actresses. Not all of them were cast right for the role, but they are great actresses on their own. But that movie was a legit dumpster fire, and that was Jeff Johns and Warner Brothers' attempt to overhype a character who wasn't that much of a breakthrough character. Like, Suicide Squad works as Suicide Squad. Harley Quinn solo as a feature film, it doesn't work. Like, if they did a Green Arrow movie, suppose, like a proper Green Arrow movie, and introduced Black Canary there, that would have been more well received than just putting a bunch of, secondary or, secondary grade or sidekick grade characters into one movie and thinking that it's gonna make $1 billion just because it's all about women and all that other political bullshit that Warner Brothers is trying right now. This is why AT&T, when they walked in and showed Zack Snyder's Justice League, it was amazing.
Yeah, right. I mean, I I was kind of thinking exactly like that. They should make a Green Arrow movie with I think what's his name? I forgot. He was in Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Yeah. He was
Um,
also in what's that robot movie? What's the name of that
um,
robot movie? Charlie Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam. Yeah,
Yeah.
they should make a Green Arrow movie and introduce Black Canary in that, so that it can kind of retcon
Birds of Prey.
what Birds of Prey did.
Well,
Yeah.
well, let's see where Birds of Prey is going, because a lot of the DCEU fans and Zack Snyder fans like us, I didn't go watch it, and I didn't bother with that movie. That movie came and
I
went.
didn't, you know, I, I didn't even know when it came out. I just, I saw the posters. That's all.
Yeah,
After
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I didn't know if it came out or not. So I mean, AT&T already canceled the sequel to,
Birds of Prey.
the
ভালো
planned
করছে।
sequel to Birds of Prey. So
ভালো
I
করছে।
think, yeah. So I think they're gonna retcon that movie. I mean,
Let's see what
the
happens,
future,
whether they retcon it or not. If David Ayer's Suicide Squad comes out, then moving forward from the James Gunn Suicide Squad, I mean, right now the future, we do not know what the future holds. So everything will be made clear in Justice Con and DC fandom.
yes, right.
So in terms of DC fandom and Justice Con, what are you looking forward to? What are your expectations?
So the first thing that I'm hearing is that Ben Affleck's gonna be there, and
Oh,
gonna announce the Batfleck
আমার
movie.
মনের
So
কথা বলতেছো আশরাফ, আমার মনের কথা বলতেছো বন্ধু।
and I'm interested in the Flash movie, like Michael Keaton, like coming back as the Bartonverse Batman,
In a multiverse.
not as Thomas Wayne Batman. No,
No.
In, yeah,
In a different kind of like multiverse Batman.
yeah. That way, what it does is that it ties up the whole DC movie history.
Yeah.
Like
from the very beginning.
yeah, like from the very beginning, like so
Do you think they're planning
interested in
to?
that.
Do you think that Jim Lee, along with Zack Snyder, have discussed a Kingdom Come scenario in the future? Like, or maybe they'll bring in a CGI Christopher Reeves as the Kingdom Come Superman or something like that. Do you think? তোমার মনে হয়?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't even like Keaton play the Kingdom Come Batman. I mean, I think Kingdom Come is still it's still too soon.
No,
The
not
DCEU
now. In the
hasn't
future,
matured yet.
Like, do you think they're building up to Kingdom Come with all these multiverses and everything, like the Dark Side War and everything, যা যা আমরা দেখছি and everything that's been going on?
I don't think so. I don't think. I think like for now, I think they're planning the part 2 for Justice League. I think Zack's like he's kind of completing his original arc that he planned, but not exactly in the way he planned it to be because of Justice League. So I think he has kind of revamped it, and he has already planned that, like the part 2 and 3. And
I mean, you're
Flashpoint-
right. You're right.
And I think since the Flash movie is loosely based on Flashpoint, I think it may contribute to the setup for Justice League Part 2.
let's see. Let's see. There are lots of like if they make a Flashpoint inspired movie and Jeffrey Dean Morgan does not come as Thomas Wayne Batman, I'm gonna be really disappointed. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll be really disappointed. Like Michael Keaton thakuk ya Jay thakuk, I'll be really disappointed.
Yeah,
that if they do a Flashpoint and Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in there as Thomas Wayne Batman. I mean, he's perfect to
when
play.
Zach cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the role, I think he had an agenda. Like he knew that he was gonna play
because
Thomas Wayne eventually.
because in the original Snyder con oto je Flasher time travel to এটা explain করছিল, right? মনে নাই?
Right.
So we know a lot about that. So let's see. Like I said, the future is unknowable. There are lots of rumors coming out, lots of news that we're finding out. Like a Batman Beyond movie যদি Michael Keaton sign on করে and instead of Terry McGinnis একটা bad girl হবে, like bad girl of the future or something like that. She'll be the moniker of Batman. I don't know why they're going down this route, but okay. Like I said, like because Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out and I'm only for the Snyderverse because I plan to spend all my Eid money and every money that I'm going to get now, I'm going to spend it next year on Zack Snyder's Justice League. আমি 10টা digital copy কিনবো আর যেমনে হোক like HBO Max এ subscribe করবো. And to all the viewers and listeners in Bangladesh, যারা whoever wants to support Zack Snyder's Justice League and HBO Max, if you don't have any way to do it yourself, please get in touch with me and I'll try and help you guys out as much as I can. And that's the deal. And yeah, I mean it's all about making Zack successful. So AT&T and HBO Max realizes that no, we have to go with Zack Snyder's vision because that is what people want. That's where the money is, that's where the success is. Because amra as consumers amra care kori about the quality, about the content that we're getting, but at the end of the day, for Warner Brothers, who are idiots, and for HBO Max, who are smart, it's a business. তারা এটাকে একটা ব্যবসা হিসাবে দেখে. So it's all about the numbers.
I want Warner Media to promo Zack Snyder Justice League the hell.
Well, Ashraf,
promote the hell out of it so that
listen, আমরা যে 3টা বছর যে মার্কেটিং করছি, the amount of marketing that we did for 3 years for this movie as fans and as consumers, I don't think Warner Brothers can match that. And they are a huge company, but they could not do that level of marketing. I mean, the last time they did that level of marketing was for Batman v Superman, and possibly a little bit for Wonder Woman. After that, none of the other movies got this much promotion, this level of promotion. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that too. But I mean, there are still people who, they don't, they're not updated with the news. So maybe for them, at least,
oh yeah, definitely, I agree.
I want
they should.
Everyone...
HBO, I'm not worried. I know for the fact that HBO Max, like because it's less Warner Brothers and more HBO Max, who is with the Snyder Cut. And when around the time of its release, especially after this DC fandom, তুমি দেখবা যে near the release time of Zack Snyder's Justice League, they will be promoting the hell out of that movie because they want as many subscribers as they can get. So I believe HBO Max will do it right. And HBO Max যদি কিছু না করে ভাই আমরা আছি, হ্যাঁ 3টা বছর ধরে আমরা করতে আসি, we are used to it, we know it better, we know the field, we know our criticizers, we know our critics, we know everything. So yeah, I'm not worried. এটা ভালোই একটা মার্কেটিং হবে. And listen, the whole industry knows about this movie. It's not about like a specific like group of people or a specific community. The whole fucking Hollywood industry knows about the movie to the point that Ryan Reynolds, while promoting his movie 6 Underground, talked about the Snyder Cut in Brazil Comic Con CCXP. So it's not a joke anymore. And the fact that this was announced, everybody heard of it, so people are curious. They say, okay, fine, this has not been done before. Last time this happened was for the Donner cut of Superman, which took 20 years, and by the grace of God, by the grace of universe, by karma, আমরা 3 বছরে করে ফেলছি.
Right.
We have done it in 3 years, what it took our predecessors 20 years to do. So yeah, there are good times ahead. And now that মাঝখানে কিন্তু DC in like a couple of months ago, I mean a year or two ago, DC was so, I mean, bland. There was no excitement towards DC.
Right.
But after the announcement of Zack Snyder's Justice League, it feels like as if to 2017 when it paused, it's now in play. Like it's just like how we pause a movie or pause Netflix or something, and then we press play. It's like after
I
the,
think it feels.
Huh.
I think it feels like I mean right after BVS, like April 2016. I think it feels like that. I mean, like excited for her, like a new, fresh new start. and
a new beginning. We're gonna see something new.
beginning.
Exactly. Oh man.
What do you think about Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern?
I really like Ryan Reynolds as an actor. Okay, even before he became Deadpool, I liked him as an actor, and I think if Zack Snyder chooses to use Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern, I believe that he will shine under Zack Snyder as Green Lantern. I believe so. Because our casting wasn't bad, Kinte. It was the script and the CGI of that movie was bad. But he wasn't a bad actor. And if, Zack chooses to bring him in, then I believe in Zack. I know what Zack is doing because Zack casting niye kintu bhul kore na. He doesn't make mistakes with casting.
No. Yeah.
So if Ryan Reynolds comes back, I'll be more happy. I'll be happier. I'll be really happy because I know he will shine under Zack Snyder. I know he will shine under Zack Snyder. I mean, okay. I mean,
because I think he was already cast for Green Lantern, and I mean the movie didn't do good, but I mean
but do you know
it
Jeff
wasn't
Johns?
his fault. So,
do you know Jeff Johns? Jeff Johns still speaks proudly of the Green Lantern movie. He says it's one of his crowning achievements, the Green Lantern movie. He's very proud of it. So there you go. I mean, the reason why I say, and I'll give you a proof right now, is that what you said a couple of minutes ago, that Gal Gadot shines under Zack Snyder. Just watch that 35-second teaser for the Snyder Cut. She is Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is showing more expression and acting capabilities than she showed in the whole Wonder Woman movie. In 35 seconds, already proves that Zack knows how to get the best of the best out of these people than what Patty Jenkins did in the whole bloody movie. So there you go, people.
Right.
Say what you will, but Zack does it better, man. Zack does it better.
Yeah. He's the maestro.
Yeah, he's the
comic
maestro.
book movie.
And this is the, I mean, this is what really gets on my nerves, and I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again, is that a lot of cinephile and moviephile and average comic book fans and a lot of other fans, it's fine that having different opinions are fine. People who kiss Christopher Nolan's ass don't realize that Nolan himself admitted that I do not have the capability of bringing the Justice League into the cinematic scale, but this guy is. He's the one who chose Zack Snyder. That I can't do it because the Batman movies burnt me out, but he's the man who can do it.
Right.
Warner Brothers, go with Zack Snyder. That's it. So যেখানে Nolan stamp of approval is there, the Christopher Nolan stamp of approval in supporting Zack Snyder is there.
Nolan handpicked
Zack Snyder. Exactly.
For,
exactly. So if Christopher Nolan, যাকে a lot of fans consider him as the godfather of DC and because of Batman Begins trilogy and all that, which is fine, but he himself picked Zack Snyder. Okay, so তোমাদের গুরু ওকে চুজ করছে, তা তোমাদের এত ক্রিটিসিজম কোথা থেকে আসতেছে?
Even James Cameron actually listed Zack Snyder among his
influences. Inspirations. Yeah, so if a director like Christopher Nolan and James Cameron are giving Zack Snyder the thumbs up, man, again, like I said, at the end of the day, after 3 years, Ashraf, fighting for this movie, I have learned to calm down. and take it as people's own subjective point of views, and which is fine. Every like Jim Lee je kothata bolchilo. And again, I will say that I am talking this calmly and positively towards all shades of the fandom because I'm getting my movie. If I wasn't getting Zack Snyder, আমি সবাই এখন গালি দিতাম. All the
Yeah,
detractors. I'm সবাই গালি
exactly
দিতাম. I
right.
don't care. আমি আমার best friend এরও গালি দেই who doesn't like, one of my closest best friends who I grew up with, he doesn't like Zack Snyder's movies. And ওর আমি সারাদিন গালি দিতাম. এখন এখন ও আমারে খোঁচাইলেও আমি কিন্তু গায়ে নেই না. হ্যাঁ, ও আমারে বলে যে হ্যাঁ, but BVS is this, Man of Steel is this. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit. I don't care. You keep on saying what you're saying. I'm getting my Justice League
Yeah,
movie.
I mean,
I could not give a
like,
fuck.
like after BVS, I defended BVS for so long, and then like I think just I mean after I think yeah uh, after Justice League came out, I I mean I thought like I mean I think there's no point anymore in like defending BVS. I mean if the haters are gonna hate, I mean they're gonna hate.
No, dude, I know people who said that they love Justice League, man. I can't say anything. The very people who liked Aquaman says that they liked Justice League, but they didn't like BVS. So there are all shades of people. There are all shades of people. So go figure, man. Go figure. আমার মাথা কাজ করে না ভাই, আমার মাথা কাজ করে না. But then again, to each his own. So on that note, Ashraf, I think we've been talking for nearly over an hour and more. So any last thoughts that you want to share with with my viewers?
Like I'm excited. I mean it still feels like a dream. I mean I still have nightmares that Zack Snyder's movie came. I mean Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and I mean it didn't have any of the things that we know it has, like so it didn't do good or something like that. I mean I still have nightmares. So I mean it's I mean the passion I have for this movie is like kind of like I mean 3 years in the making, so I'm really like excited for that. And I think since Zach's like the announcement for the Snyder cut kind of
Reinvigorated.
Reinvigorated the DCEU. I am looking forward to I mean more movies, and I wish that I mean Zach's at the helm of I mean at least I mean even even if he's not a director, at least he I mean supervises all the movies like Flash and all that. And I wish that like the Flash director Andy Muschietti at least talks with Zach about I mean the direction that he should go, or stuff like that. So I feel hopeful. So I feel hopeful for the DCEU now.
Beautiful. And if people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. It's Ashraf. Yeah.
Yeah, I will have a link to his Twitter and his Facebook on the description on this page. And with that, dear viewers and people who have been watching and listening, thank you so much for tuning in to KuziCast Spartan Adda. It was great having you on, Ashraf, and hopefully in the future we can have you back again with better internet, I hope. And with that, viewers, take care of yourself, be safe. COVID is still around. And I hope we all can make it to 2021 and beyond, so we can see Zack Snyder's Justice League together, and our passion for DCEU and Snyderverse continues. All right. Thank you.